So one big ask of the PN bot that we heard from navigators is that you all were really interested in some kind of reminder system because there's so much to keep track of with what's going on with your patients, and you don't really want anything to fall through the cracks. So we heard that you all were interested in some way of being reminded of follow-up needed. So what PNBot has to offer is this section here on your home screen that says See Follow-up Needed, and you have the option of either clicking on Follow-up Today or All Upcoming Follow-up. So I had entered some encounters already to sort of pre-populate so I can show you what these buttons look like. So if I click on Follow Up Today, today when I'm recording this video is August 3rd, 2016. So I click that button and it takes me to the encounters list or the database for all the encounters that I've ever entered before. And what that button has done is it's filtered out all the other encounters except for the ones where the follow-up date that I had previously specified is set to today. So I see here August 3rd, 2016 as my encounter date of follow-up. So I can use that button to basically pull up a list of all the follow-up that I need to take care of today. So what do I see in this row? I see that first example patient, I had met with them on July 27th. That was the encounter that I'd entered for them. And during that encounter, I decided to set for myself an encounter date of follow-up of August 3rd. And in the notes that I wrote for myself, I had said follow-up to make sure that the patient received their check from Cancer Care, let's say, or whatever your example might be. And then now I can go ahead and make sure I take care of that today. So to get back to my home screen or to the Encounters data entry form, I do want to use these two buttons here. I don't want to just click around in the sheets because these two buttons are specially programmed to sort of unfilter this list and allow you to look at everything again the next time you want to come to this sheet. So I'm going to click on this home button to take me back to the home screen. And then now I want to show you the other type of button here that's all upcoming follow-up that will show me all the follow-up that I had previously entered for today onwards. So I'm going to click on that. And again, I come to my encounters list or database of all the encounters that I've entered before. And you notice here this bright blue color column again, encounter data follow-up, now lists all the follow-up dates from today, that's August 3rd, 2016, onwards. And it's in time order from most urgent to furthest out in the future. And this is in case I want to just have a heads up on things coming up that I scheduled for myself later in the week or next week or whatever the case may be. So in addition to that follow-up due for today that we just looked at, I see in the next row also for second example patient, 2 days from now I'm supposed to remind that patient of a blood work appointment on the 6th. And again, I want to make sure to use these two buttons to navigate around to make sure that this table gets unfiltered for future use. So I'm going to click on my home button again, and that basically just takes me home. So in order to use this follow-up feature, I do want to note that you do need to have in your setup sheet this data follow-up needed variable checked off, because if you aren't entering any values for this follow-up variable, then you won't really have anything to go on to pull up follow-up dates. So it's important at the start of the setup for PNBot, if you do want to use that reminder function, to check off data follow-up needed. So I'm going to actually just go to the document and encounter sheet to show you where you can specify the follow-up needed. So just as an example, I'm going to select first example patient. I'm going to add a new encounter. Encounter date is today, August 3rd. So I'm not going to go through in great detail, but maybe I want to specify for myself follow-up that I need to do next week for August 10th. So this would be the field that would be important to enter if I wanted that sort of reminder. So date of follow-up, if I click in there, it brings up the calendar widget and I can select August 10th. And general notes is where I would want to type out not only what happened during that encounter in narrative form for myself, but any sort of specific reminder or to-do item that I want to be able to see when I do the follow-up. So I might say, make sure patient has documents ready for Medicaid application, or I don't know, whatever example you'd have here. So I would go ahead and save this encounter. And when I go home, let's just see what happens now when I click on all upcoming follow-up. So I'm going to click all upcoming follow-up, and the entry that I just put in for first example patient, follow-up date August 10th is now in here. And I see the reminder note to myself over here as well. And that's basically how it works for how you set reminders for yourself and look for upcoming follow-up, whether it's today or any time into the future. Thanks for watching.